Hey everyone, thanks for tuning back in. Neophyte Stack. Man, I feel like the old lady from Titanic. It's been so long since I made my last video. About 2 months. And again, not a whole lot has changed. Let me go through it. So I've been tracking 4 major things. If you guys saw my last video, you guys can get some visuals to it. But I got the laptop off to the side. So let's check in. SLV, the paper silver stock. It's up 69 cents from last video 2 months ago. Silver spot price is up 61 cents. A-Mark Precious Metals, they're up 47 cents. No, 97 cents, I think. I can't read my writing. It's 47 or 97, I'm not sure. And then the S&P 500 is up 168 points, man. So the S&P is again running all over everything. It went from a positive 13% last video to now around 17.5%. So it's pumping, it's bubbling, it's all of that, right? Everyone talks about cheap money. It's flooding the market. Everything is overvalued, and we're expecting a pullback. So pullback was, these are. I feel like there's more hearsay and rumors about pullbacks than there actually are during the year. So if I got the laptop up to the side. If I look at year to date in the last year, the S&P 500 from the last year, so from today, September 5th, all the way back to September 5th of 2022, it's still up 15%. So those pullbacks happened. It looks like there was 1, 2, 3. There's been 4 pullbacks within the last year. It looks like, give or take on how you look at pullbacks, but it's still continuing to go up. So the S&P is, it's interesting that if you are a beginner investor, a lot of people will tell you that if you just get an S&P 500 ETF like SPY or VTI or QQQ, that's like you're good. Like that's pretty much it. You just keep dollar cost averaging every day, every paycheck, every month, however you like to do it, and it's pretty straightforward. That's all you have to pretty much do to begin your investing journey. But a lot of people love picking stocks, which is interesting because all of the videos that I see on YouTube with beginning investors, they do have ETFs, but they have scattered portfolios. I have yet to see one person with just like an S&P 500 ETF, and that's it. Like that's all that person does is just S&P, and they dollar cost average paycheck. I think I'm gonna be the first YouTuber to do that because my portfolio I think consists of like 2 positions, and that's an S&P 500 ETF, and another one is a financial sector. It's XLF or something like that. I can't remember, but. Other than that, like that's what we've been tracking. Again, the S&P 500 has jumped from 13 to 17.5%. So that's wild, right? From last video. Yet in between my last video and this video, I've seen all kinds of wild headlines on YouTube throughout the community. It looks like people are finally like starting to call people out about their BS. Because it doesn't change a whole lot. It doesn't fluctuate like that. The last bullion coin was the Britannia. That was the cheapest one on APMEX. It was at $29.19. Maple today is the cheapest one, $28.82. So it's a little bit cheaper than what it was 2 months ago. But check this out. Maple's $28, right? Almost $29. I called for some bullion rounds today. My local coin shop, and this is why I hate my local coin shop. They're nice people, but I understand that they have to turn a profit. They're not doing it for charity. But at the same time, spot was 23.80 something, 81. They wanted to pay me 22.61 a round. So that sucks. A dollar under when they're gonna pocket maybe 25, 26 is what they're going to be selling the rounds for. If they're really paying attention to Amex, they'll be selling the same round that I just sold them for probably around $26, $27. But it is what it is. Cash business. They need to make profit. I understand that. But then again, like I said, it's just easier to sell to the community. Go through your community, because I'm sure that instead of getting $22.61 a round, I can sell that for $24. Like, a really good bargain. If spot's at $23.83, I can say, hey man, I'll give you a round for $24.50, or even $25. And I think people will still be likely to buy that at $25 per ounce. It's a small premium, and I think that's where it favors us only. It just favors me, and it benefits me more to sell to the community and also buy from the community. Speaking of supporting the community, I had to support my boy Silver Dragons with the Silverbacks. I ended up buying 3. These things were super expensive. The premium on these were outraged, but it's not about the premium. It's about supporting him and what he's done. It's just awesome, so I had to support him. I wanted the purple one, man, but they only had some. I think the place, I can't remember where I bought them from, but they only had like graded ones, and they were like $200 some odd, something like that. It was wild. So I said, nah, I'm good with that. The purple will have to wait. I got the red ones. They're kind of high in numbers, I think in the 40,000s. I can't remember, but either way, it was awesome. It was awesome to see that he got that for himself. So kudos to you, Silver Dragons. I had to stack them with my gold backs. Interestingly enough, I'm seeing that gold backs are starting to come into the program again. Looks like it's hitting some more channels again. Gold backs. I ended up buying these gold backs from a YouTube, not a YouTuber, but an Instagram person, and then I found out that you can just buy them from Alpine. I think it's United Precious Metals, but their bank is like Alpine something over in Utah or Colorado. I can't remember, but you can buy them really cheap from there, and then you can just pull them out. I just dollar cost average monthly. I think I do a drip into the account, and I think there's like 70. I think I have like 70 or so in that account right now. So with these 30 right here, I got over 100 gold backs, which is pretty cool. To go to 1,000 would be ridiculous, but I don't know. It just keeps dripping into that account. It's not hurting me, so I'm just gonna leave it there in case these gold backs take off 5-6 years from now, or 10 or 20. Who cares? I think it's pretty cool. The way we should be supporting gold backs. It's not. Again, these are not to stack. Please do not believe that you should be stacking these things. They're so expensive, and the premium is too hard. But the whole idea of money actually having gold in it is awesome to me. And it made me wonder, how come we don't have a premium on the US dollar? Like, it takes money to print the US dollar, to make it, machinery, jobs and everything to make that stuff, but we don't see the premium. I don't know. I just wanted to share that. That was kind of weird. What else do I got to share? Oh, yeah. Speaking of hyperinflation, I wanted to show this. This is on my actual background to my YouTube channel. If you guys already have seen, it's there. I bought that from the local coin shop, even though I hate the local coin shop. I think it was like $40, and it turned out, I thought it was a copy. It turned out to be real. If you hit it with a black light, there's little things that glow in there. And I ended up getting a hold of a black light. I don't have it with me now. When I get my light back, I'll let someone use it. I'll show you guys in another video. But little things start to glow. That's $100 trillion Zimbabwe note. Again, for the historical value is what I bought it for. And at the time I was like, $40, man, that's a lot. But I was like, dude, this is history. And if you read up on Zimbabwe about what happened after the collapse, they've gone completely digital. They do all their transactions on phone. Which is weird. Everyone's scared about the digital dollar. And I just kind of commented on someone else's Instagram. I can't remember who. I'm so sorry. But it's only like reasonable to believe that we're going to go digital within the next 30, 50 years. Right? Because if you look at the history of currency and what humans have been trading since the beginning of time, it makes sense that we're going to be going digital in the future. And it's going to scare a ton of people. Everyone hates change. I had talked about this when they have this viral video of people drinking and driving. And they're telling them that, the law is going to pass that you can't do this. It kills people. People can't drive when they're drunk. And these people are like, this is ridiculous. You know, sooner or later we're going to be a communist country. You know, what's the world coming to? You can't drink a beer while you drive. And it just shows you like how much people hate change, right? They just hate it. So I kind of want to throw it out there. It's just reasonable to think that we're going to be going digital soon. But moving right along, just so much other stuff has come through. I had shared this on Chef Stacker LA's channel about M6 Metals. They're local in Los Angeles. He's in Los Angeles. And I wanted to share some rounds that I bought from the dude. So this is their, let me see here. So check this out. This is M6. Let me see if I can get really close. Boom. República de Plata hand poured, made in the USA. República de Plata, Estados Unidos. So this was cool. He did that one. And then I got a Mayan face. This one was pretty cool. Got a little tongue out. 1 ounce poured. And then this is my favorite, the Lucha Libre round. They had some colored ones which were really cool. I like this one. Came with a little cool sticker. M6 Metals. That's what they are. They're Los Angeles based, and they came in these little nice bags. Little felt cool bags. So if you guys like poured silver, I know that stuff has a high premium to it. I get it usually just so I can mess around and have a pocket piece. You know, have it in my hands or something. I don't know. I liked it. I thought it was cool. That's what I ended up buying. That was a long time ago. I don't know when I bought all this stuff. This was things that I've had on for a long time, and I just haven't showed them. Another one was Mandalore seasons have been coming through, so I ended up buying some high premium crap that you'll never get your stuff back. But this one was cool. I dig it. I dig the Mandalorian. I love it. This one has, let's see, vintage of 2000. It's the Grogu. So that was another one. And then I ended up buying this one as well. Let me see. Sorry, let me pan out. And it shows you the vintage. $3,000. I ended up buying 2 of these. The other one right here. So that was another thing that I want to show. And then I finally got my airtight for my John Wick bar that I talked about. Man, this was crappy. It looks like, if you look at it closely, like it's bad. It looks like someone slid it over concrete, dude. It's not, it's horrible, but it is what it is. I'm not going to complain and be a jerk. I'll just never buy 10-ounce bars from them again. I don't know. Coins are still, I'm looking at rounds right now on Amex. $26, cheapest round. Where spot price is almost to $24. The premiums are down. I talked about this. It just takes time. It takes the entire group to realize that silver's not going to go to the moon. We've been lied to. And I'm going to stop buying. And that's what's happened. When we have less demand, the premium goes down. And that's what's been going on. And then in the community, you'll start to hear the interviews. I can't, you know, man, if you pay attention to If you pay attention to Silver Slayer's video, bro, like it's wild how much pump there is on that channel. That was the first channel that I ran into because it had the most views. So when you look at YouTube, it's showing you the videos with the most views, right? And if a lot of people think that there's going to be recession and panic, a lot of people love that. They love that they have all of this stuff that they stockpiled and they want to use it, especially the guns. And so they kind of feed that part of their brain like, yeah, man, I need to consume more and more of this talk about bartering and the economy failing and the fiat dollar hitting hyperinflation. Like, all of that stuff drives a lot of people, and I feel like those are the popular channels that get fed to us. But if you're a normal person, a regular everyday Joe who goes to work, blue collar job, and then says, you know what, I got into silver because this is an insurance in case something bad happens with the US dollar. That's just reasonable, right? It's like, yo, the stock market could tank like 08. The housing market can tank like 08. And what can help me? And if that's silver and gold, I think gold will help you a lot more than silver. But if you're stacking silver because it's reasonably priced, it's more affordable than gold. Buy it. And I talk about that. I talk about, like, your silver stack shouldn't be more than 5 to 20% of your overall portfolio. Let me repeat that again. In your investment portfolio, whatever you buy, real estate, stock, whatever, 5 to 20% of that should be in gold and silver. In my book, that's how I'm living my life right now. 5 to 20%. And every day when you get paid, you're constantly buying and adjusting for that. So when I see all the videos about, well, how much silver should I have? There is no like certain ounces of how much you should have. People feel comfortable with like 1,000, 500, 100, 20, whatever it is. If you're a lifelong stacker, you're just going to continue to consume and you're going to buy. And that's where I am. I have just pumped my brakes in the last 2-3 years because of this black swan event that happened. And I understand that the price is not going to stay that high. And it's going to come back down, and that's when I'll start to consume again, when the premiums go back to $1, $2 over spot. Now we're seeing those deals about the first-time buyers, you get them at spot. That's what was happening, and that was normal back in 2018, 2019. So these are all good signs that the price is coming back down to what it should be, and it's not overinflated, and it's not driven by FOMO and fear and all this other crap that's all over YouTube. 5 to 20% overall portfolio. The rest should be in stocks or real estate or whatever you do. The rest of mine is in stocks. Stocks have been really good the last 6 months. Everything's been going up. And that's when you start to see all the YouTubers talking about, like, man, I'm 120% killing it right now in the market. Like, everyone can pick stocks during a bull run. It's when the next couple of months, when it starts to trickle down, I want to see those portfolios if you're up or down overall. And a lot of people are going to hide that. They're not going to show their all button on Robinhood. They're going to show you year to date, 1 day, 5 days, 1 month, 6 months. And they're going to skip that overall, I'm down or I'm up. That's what makes you a good investor, a stock picker, etc. So, what else do we got to talk about? I got a lot out today. I'm glad. I think that's about it. Moving forward, August and September have been known historically as down in the market. So this is the upcoming buying opportunity that I've been kind of hoping for. I've been trying to get into, I've been trying to buy more shares of certain stocks, and I couldn't because they were positive. And I talked about this in this other channel that I'm watching, that I stick to it. This lady's amazing, single parent over in New York, has a gigantic portfolio, net income. Net worth. Just phenomenal what she's been doing, and it's amazing her journey. She's bought a house and stuff, and she gets kind of sidetracked, and she thinks that when things are good, she's putting money in, right? But as an investor, we know that's not going to continue to go so much, right? The S&P can only go so much. It's not going to give you 40-50% returns. So when you start to see it at 20, you start to save money as opposed to putting it in, right? Because you're paying more and more for the shares. It's only reasonable to set money aside and wait for a pullback and then buy it, right? And you're buying a dip. not kind of like the silver dip, because the silver dip's a little different. When silver dips, the premium goes up and it kind of balances it out, and the price stays nearly the same, $28, $27, $20, $26 an ounce. Even though spot price can be $21, and we'll still see rounds at $28. It's wild, right? But when stocks dip, that's when you buy them. And these buying opportunities only happen maybe 2-3 times a year. So you're just sitting there for an entire year waiting for these opportunities to come. And that's when you buy big and you leave it alone after that. People who, who are learning investing, they'll tell you what they've been told and where it's spread around everywhere, all over the internet. Timing the market is better than timing the market. That's a given. It's always been told. It's always been said. That's kind of like the silver's a hedge against inflation, right? You're not timing a market. I mean, you're understanding that a stock cannot go 40-50% in 6 months without some kind of pullback or crash. That's driven by hype in the stock market. Any little thing can like tank a stock. And the rumor is what tanks or makes it boom. Kind of like the Nvidia, the Adobe jump. Like those are the AI bubble hit back in March and April, and like gains just went through the roof. But I kind of understand that the higher the stock goes in the shorter amount of time, it becomes more and more volatile. And it gets too risky to hold. We want a slow increase over time. That's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for the big jumps because you don't know when to sell. You don't know, you talk about timing the market. Try to get rid of a stock when it peaks and it pumps 20-30% in one day. And you're thinking, oh my God, it's going to continue to go up and it's going to continue to go up. And then you sell and you're like, I held a bag. That happens more than often. A lot of people won't admit that, but that's what happens. Look at the guy with Dogecoin. He held that investment is worth crap now. Guys who held AMC stock down real bad. And it's just like, it's better to put in consistent money. I understand that too. Like if your position is positive 2%, 3%, 4%, 5%, you can continue to put money in. That's no problem. But the minute it gets above 10, what the average return rate is per year, that's when it starts to get hectic. That's when you should start maybe cutting it in half. Hey, I got $100 to invest. I'm only going to invest 50. 50 is going to go to cash. So when a dip comes, I got some extra money. And that's how you build to it. But going back to her, that's what she was doing. She was consistently putting in, and then when a pullback happens and she's down 9% or 8%, 12%, she's like, oh, I'm gonna hold off. I'm gonna hold off right now. And it's like that's the time where you want to jump in and grab as much as you can, because a negative 10% dip is, and it's very, very hard to close in that gap. After something dips 15%, 20%, and you're putting more and more money in, it's very, very slowly dollar cost averaging. If your position dipped negative 15% and you put in the same amount of money that you have in that position, like say you have $100 worth of, say $500 worth of Coca-Cola stock, and it dips 10%. If you put another $500 in, that 10% will move up maybe to like 7% negative. So it's just like, it sucks because you're putting in money, and sometimes you just don't have enough money to get back to positive. But that's what I always encourage people to do. That's what I'm learning now. When something dips really nasty, it's like, okay, it's first you got to make sure that the business is still the business that you want to hold on to, right? Because if some news happened that they're going bankrupt now and now it's going to be worthless, you want to get rid of it, and you want to use that as a tax write-off, right? But if it's something like Coca-Cola and it dips 10%, that's a buying opportunity. That thing went on sale, and you should buy as much as you can, because a year from now you will not be able to get it back at that time. I've held Coca-Cola for more than 4 years. I've never been able since to buy it at the price I bought it for 4 years ago. it's consistently increased. And that's when you know when you have a good business. That's when you know when your position is good. When it consistently, when you can just buy it, hold it, leave it there, and it just consistently goes up in price every year. Whether it's 3%, 2%, 5%, if it's consistently going up year after year, you know you picked a winner. And that's when the man, I wish I would have bought more happens. You're like, oh, I only bought 10 shares and I knew I should have sold my car and bought 50. But that's what it is when you analyze businesses, right? Everyone's like, you got to get this intrinsic value, figure out how much you're going to do. And if you look at the big boys, Buffett does the same stuff, man. He sits back and he throws in $1 billion in a position and he just leaves it there for years. Because he knows, like, sooner or later, if I've done my homework, that $1 billion is going to start to go up in price. And that recently happened with his new position. He bought a bank in, I think it's like Latin America, called NU, N-U. He put $1 billion into it. January comes along. That $1 billion sank to less than $500 million. He didn't buy, he didn't hold, he didn't dollar cost average in. He just left it alone. And it's slowly starting to trickle back up. It's slowly getting back up there. He's still down in that position, a year later, but he hasn't bought more, and he's left it there. And that's kind of like figuring out your emotional character when it comes to investing. Kind of like what we're doing with silver. So that's what I learned. I was linking it to silver, right? Like silver blew up. I pumped my brakes and I said, hell, I'm not going to buy anymore. I'm going to wait this thing out. It's going to take years because I looked at the previous one from 2011. It took all the way to, I think it was like 5 years it took for it to get back down to like $15 or $14, $13. I was like, dang, man, it took 5 years sitting there of just year after year going down. You're going down and going down. And that's what's happening. We're in 2023. 2021 was the peak. Now, 2 years later, it's still trickling down. And I still feel like it's going to hit sub $20. The premiums are going to go away. These ridiculous premiums are going away already. And then that's when we start to buy. When there's no hype, that's when we buy. When there's hype, you stay away from it. You either sell it. If you're smart, you'll sell it like the guys on YouTube holding auctions. I think Guido had like 200 auctions already. And I'm like, man, does he know something I know? Why is he selling when everyone's accumulating? You got to think ahead a little bit. All right, guys. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for your time. Happy blessings. Happy stacking.